In this video, we're going to build the Stator Scout Pro. However, the steps we take are also valid for the Stator Cub, Cub Pro, and Standard Scout. Is that right? Is that right? Great. So many bikes. As always, when you're building a Stator bike, we recommend having 2 people. They are not lightweight, so you don't want to strain yourself. However, you can do it by yourself by opening the box up and working on the cardboard. First things first, crack open the box. You're going to be met with your accessories. So grab out your accessories box to start with. In here you've got your pegs, your pedals, your charger, your touch-up paint, and your little tool pouch. Everything's in there you need to build the bike. So put that to one side, you'll need it very, very shortly. And then the fun part of getting rid of all the foam. So move all the foam out of the way. Front mudguard, put that with your accessories box. You'll need that later on. More foam, bit of polystyrene. This can be recycled at your local recycling tip. Here is your rear rack that we include for free. Getting down there, now you've got some bubble wrap covering the bike. Side note, this is our new color. This is the matte black Scout Pro we're building today. We built the X2, was it the X2 last week we built? Amy's behind the camera, by the way. I'm not talking to myself. If I had 2 people, this is where we'd grab it in and we'd lift it out. Run a knife down the box. And what this does is it actually creates a nice little work platform. Just make sure you don't cut too deep because you don't want to slice into any tires or anything of any importance. Do that, and then that creates a great little work spot to build your bike. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to grab some snips, some sharp snips, and go through and cut as many of the cable ties as you can. That's going to make working on the bike a lot easier. We'll hyperlapse this part. All right, so we've got the bulk of the foam off. This is where you'll get a second person to help out. I'm going to get Amy to hold the bike while we locate or position the front tire. All right, so we're going to get Amy to lift the bike up. I'm just loosening off the nuts almost as far as they go. On each one, I'll just show you on the camera. On each one, there is a little washer that goes on the outside of the fork. When you lift the bike up, you want to remove that. Do it by simply knocking it out with your hand. So I'm going to lift it up now and just knock that out of the way. That's just purely to support the forks in transit. And then we'll get Amy to lift the bike up as high as she can. We're going to put that disc in. You can lower it down a bit now. Keep going. There we go. All right, once you've got the wheel on, that is probably the hardest part. That's why you need the second person. Now you want to get your accessories box and you want to get your little included toolkit out. Now this is a very, very basic toolkit. If you have good quality tools at home, probably use those. You'll be able to do a nicer job. But if you don't have any tools, everything you need is in this little toolkit. So your spanners, your hex tools, everything. We're going to just quickly put everything out here on the cardboard. We're going to grab the wheel spanner and tighten up those front bolts. Now the front nuts are a 15mm, just as an FYI for you. Get them reasonably tight on each side. Now once you've done this, when you first spin the wheel, if you feel the disc rubbing very, very slightly, don't worry, that's completely normal. It will settle after the first couple of 100 meters. So just get them nice and tight. Next thing I'm going to move on to is the handlebars. So I'm going to get my snips again. Take the rest of this off now. I do try to purposely leave the white foam on so it doesn't scratch the frame or get scratched up during the build process. First thing we'll do is going to undo these hex bolts. Now something really nice about this new handlebar setup is that if you do need to fit it into a car and you need to fold the handlebars down, you can just loosen off these 4 bolts and you can pivot the handlebars down and make the bike a lot smaller, so it'll fit into like a station wagon or like a small SUV. So loosen these off. You need to take the clamp the whole way off. Don't lose any of the washers. Just got some deliveries getting picked up. It's Black Friday here at the moment, so it's pretty crazy. There's that, there's the screen, there's the gear, so I know it's the right way around. I'm gonna put that clamp back on there. And when you tighten these up, you want to tighten them up in a star pattern. So just, it doesn't matter where you start, as long as you don't just tighten one up really tight. It puts unnecessary pressure on sort of one side of that clamp. Also, at this point, sit on the bike, make sure the handlebars are comfortable. Rule of thumb is they should be in line with your front forks, so like that. But if you're a taller rider, you can put them forward a couple of degrees. Or if you're a shorter rider, you can pull them back a little bit. But rule of thumb is have them in line with that front fork as close as possible as you can. Okay, so handlebars are on, screen's on. So now it's just basically putting on the peripherals, if that's the right word. So pedals, pegs, and front fender. So again, going back to that same box the toolkit was in, start with the pedals. If you've ever built a bike, you'll know that pedals are reverse thread. That's so when you're pedaling, they don't self-loosen. They're labeled R and L, right and left. So chuck your L into L, there we go. Just get those in there as tight as you can. This whole process, if you're doing it for the very first time, will probably take you about an hour to do it properly. And yes, you'll make a couple of small mistakes, or you won't tighten something up properly the first time. There's no time limit for this job. Take your time, make sure you're comfortable doing it. So far, I gotta say, I'm really liking this matte black. We've had metallic black until now. This matte black looks pretty mean. Right, pedals are on. Unveil that beautiful Stator logo. Now, depending on where you are, if you are looking to get a Stator bike, check our website for our registered dealers. Our dealer network is growing every day. We have Sunshine Coast and Gold Coast and Sydney covered. We're expanding soon into Adelaide and Perth and Canberra. They're all in the works right now. How nice is this seat, Amy? I love this seat. Next, we're going to put the rear rack on. To do this, we have to remove the battery. So get the keys, which will be cable tied on your handlebars. Put the key in, turn it, and pull the battery out. Now, the batteries can sometimes be a little bit stiff because they are in there when they're transported. Slide the battery out gently, put that to one side. Now's a good opportunity to go and put it on charge, because they do need to be fully charged before you ride it. Well, it's good to fully charge them before you ride it. I know if you're a kid on Christmas Day, it's hard to wait, but go put it on charge right now. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Loosen it off, don't lose the spacer or any of the washers. So you should have, that's from inside the bike, so the nut and the washer, and then you've got your spacer and your washer. All right, first things first, watching the paint, just loosely put these ones on, the side bolts. Again, just finger tight, because we're gonna do the central back one to locate the right position. Same as the other side, just gently tighten them. You don't want to tighten these up yet, because you want to be able to slide this back and forth as you put that rear one in. Now get the spacer, take the spacer off. The spacer goes between the rack and the seat. Basically get this one as tight as you want, as tight as you can, I should say, because once you've done this, that's where the rack's going to sit, and then you get your side ones and tighten your side ones up. Sorry, Amy, I should have done your side. So get that nice and tight, and the other one. That is your rear rack mounted. Just a reminder, rear rack, pegs, throttle, mudguard, headlight, all included in the box. We don't charge extra for those accessories. Okay, that's done. Now we're going to slide the battery back in, like a feathered one, but it actually creates a horrible rattle. So that's in there. Lock it off, and you're good to go. So that brings us to the end of the build of the Stator Scout Pro. Like I mentioned at the beginning, these are the same steps for all the Stator and Cub bikes. The last two things you need to do is inflate the tires. We always recommend a little bit less in the front, more in the back, the 28 and 30, especially if you're going to be carrying passengers. You want to have that little bit of extra PSI. If you've got any comments or questions, chuck them down below this video or contact us directly at the shop. If you're not sure what bike is right for you, give us a call, shoot us an email, do a live chat, and we do our best to get back as quickly as possible. Amy, anything else you want to add?
That's everything.
That's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.